Anybody comes in today? It's been a little while since I went live. Hello, hello, everybody. You tickling me. Bless you. Hey, average girl. Aren't they cuties? These are the two little blind girls. So they just literally chill on shoulders because they don't feel the need to wander anywhere else because they can't see. Aren't they just adorable? They are like the ultimate emotional support rat because they literally do not go anywhere. They stay right there. And when I hold on to them, like in my hand, they cling. I mean, they got to use, you're slipping. They got to use their other senses, you know, like their sight. That's one sense they can't use. They use their sense of smell and their sense of hearing to do everything. They're in a tiny cage so that they can find their food and water, which they have found. So they're doing good. They play together. They're in there together. They play together. They wrestle. Just like the other rats, they wrestle together, and it's the cutest thing. You're finding your sister. And now they're on the back of my neck. But they are the sweetest little things. This is Arena, and Irina, and the other one is Shiloh. Shiloh back there. So super, super sweet. Yesterday when I was changing for bed, I had Shiloh on my shoulder, so I just like put her on the bed so that I could change out of my shirt. And she just stayed where she was. She was just like, okay, I just been plopped down. I have no idea where I am. I'll stay right here. So that's what she did until I was ready to pick her back up again. It's the cutest thing. Yeah, she did. They're hilarious. Can't see you back there. Let's see. Who's this? Who's this? This is Shiloh. Come on, let's turn around. She's got a tubby little belly. Now that she's found the food, she's tubby. Little Shiloh. Yeah. And then Irina's just a slight bit bigger. Irina. Yeah. They're so adorable. They are so adorable. They really are. Yeah, they don't really want to wander anywhere. Willie had escaped. He was MIA for 3 or 4 days. Oh my goodness. I really want to get a corn snake. But we have the gorgeous king snake at work right now. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I wonder if I still have the picture. Oh my gosh, he's a gorgeous snake. It's just a baby. Let's see. He's $150, but yeah, here he is. He is a gorgeous. Look at him. He's a king snake. I would love to have him too, but I've also heard that they could be a little bit more feisty than a corn snake. But I don't know. Size-wise, either one, corn or king, I would love. He's just so stinking pretty. And then this is, do you mind not knocking all my stuff everywhere? That would be wonderful. And then this is the corn snake we have. He's $100. Considered a black corn snake. And he's not black, but whatevs. Yeah, they're more bitey. That's what I was reading about. So corn snake is pretty much what I would like to have. And this is a pretty snake. My friends and coworkers have a corn snake he's not full grown yet, but he's getting there. He eats adult mice. And they're right. He's a puppy dog. Like, he's never struck at anybody. He's never bit anybody. He was all up in my shirt and everything. He's such a sweet snake. Oh, well, that's not a bad thing then. A little boop. You know, it's really funny to me that I talk to them all the time like they can hear me and they can't hear me. Now, apparently they can hear different frequencies. Like, they can't hear high-pitched frequencies, but they can hear lower frequencies. So when I keep hearing that they're deaf, I'm like, well, not necessarily. They can hear some things. But, hey, Sheila, how you doing? So yeah, eventually, but my husband said no more animals. I know he said this before. He has, but I think he's had his quota for now. He said no more animals. I have to rehome at least 10 rats. So before he'll consider, sorry, my nose is kind of drippy. I have to rehome at least 10 rats before he'll consider it. And these two girls obviously are staying. Lexi is staying. These two girls are staying. And then Ian's rats are staying. And then one other rat other than Lexi. And one other rat other than Lexi and these two are staying because Lexi needs a friend too. And then everyone else has to go before he'll consider letting me. Yeah. I'm always like, hey, bud, how are you? And I'm like, he can't hear me. Yes, he did put a limit on me. He was like, that's no more. No more. How you doing, Sheila? In fact, these two was pushing it, but I was like, I couldn't. They're blind. I can't. I can't leave them there. Everyone was like, they'd be the perfect feeder. They wouldn't see it coming. And I'm like, no, I can't. New England Endler, hello, good morning to you. Sorry, I got a cold, guys. I'm congested. You just got up? I got up early, but then I kind of dozed off because this cold has just made me tired. I feel like I need to have a really good nose blow right now, but I don't want to do that to you guys. They're playing around in the back of my neck. One thing that Shiloh likes to do when I'm wearing my glasses is she likes to grab my glasses and just hang on my face, which is fine. It's funny. But I'm just thinking she better not take that moment to decide to pee so that she'd like pee down my face. She hasn't done that yet. They're very good about not pottying on me. Both girls spent hours, like when I picked them out of the feeder bin at work and stuck them on my shoulder for the majority of my shift. Neither of them pottied on me. They're just hanging out back there. So sweet. Such sweet little girls. And I think they're going to be very dependent. Like, I do have them in a small cage, um, so that they can find their food and water, because originally we put them in with the other girls, and even though all the rats are very good with them, um, our worry was, can they locate the food and water? So we've put them in something a lot smaller, just the two of them. They have each other to play with and sleep with and that kind of thing. And they both can locate the food and water. That was the main concern. And we're getting them out all the time. So I'll get my glasses. I should get my glasses and I could show you what she does. Just do that for a second. Get my glasses and then she can hang on my face. It's really funny. She did it to me while I was at work. And it's like one of those reflexes where something touches your hand and you grab it, that grabbing reflex. It's like that's what she does. When she feels my glasses, she just automatically grabs at them. Where are you at? Wrong one. This one. There she goes. She just hangs on my glasses. This is her favorite thing to do. Yes. Right? Yeah, there, she grabbed again. You're such a silly thing. So silly. I love her. I love her. Yeah, having little blind rat snuggles is the best. Because they have to trust you. They have to trust you because they can't rely on their own sight. Yes, today's the day she needs to pee. Yep. One day I probably won't be so lucky and she'll dribble down my face. Oh, baby noises. Baby noises. You hear the baby noises? Little squeakers. So how have you been, average girl? Oh, that reminds me, when you said Willie got out, there was a guy that came into work last week that was saying that he had a pet alligator. I guess in certain areas, they're not illegal to own as a pet as long as they're under 4 feet. And I guess this one is like 2 or 3 feet. But he had this pet alligator and it was out in the yard and, all is good. And I'm like, as long as you monitor it and make sure it doesn't escape, which, oops, it got over their fence and escaped. So I was like, great, now we've got an invasive species here in Indiana running amok, an alligator. I just saw in the news that it was captured. It's got to be the same alligator because it was in the same area. He mentioned the town that he lives in, and it mentioned the town that the alligator was captured, and he was returned to his owner. How about that? I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's like a different kind of alligator. Maybe once they get too big, they have to like surrender them. I don't know. But he was returned. But there was another animal that was found as well. Let me see if I can find it. It's a, let's see, it's on my Facebook. It's a big thing. It's huge, and it's considered dangerous to a point. It's a, yeah. So here's the alligator. I guess it's more like 2 feet. There's the alligator. But this other thing that was captured, yeah, it says there's nothing illegal about owning an alligator in Indiana as long as the reptile is under 4 feet long. The alligator that was caught was around 18 inches and has since been claimed and returned to his owner. The other reptile that was found was a crocodile monitor. He's at the animal shelter currently, and are a little bit more dangerous, apparently. Crocodile monitors are very rare and are usually located in Indonesia and can grow to be one of the largest lizards in the world. They have the ability to climb trees with their long and sharp claws. So the zoo doesn't want to take it. I don't know why he's not going back to an owner, but he's considered, says the monitor has been deemed a dangerous exotic. They're working with, the Animal Care and Control is working with our zoo as to where it will be transferred. So I'm like, why'd the alligator get to go back to his owner, but this doesn't get to? But maybe nobody has stepped forward, and because he's considered a dangerous exotic, maybe it's just not going to be allowed. But and if he's going to get that big, that maybe it's probably good. But the zoo doesn't want it. Like, it could be a cool exhibit, but they don't want it. We actually at our work we just sold yesterday a Savannah monitor, which was actually pretty sweet. I held him a few days ago, and he's pretty docile. We also have Nile monitors, and they're a little bit more blah. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. But yeah, as soon as I read the article and it talked about the alligator that was captured and where it was captured, I was like, I totally just talked to that dude a few days ago. But I'm glad he's got him back. They had it for a couple of years, they said, I think. But yeah, so it's my goal to rehome about 10 rats, get them good homes. I've rehomed 2. One that was actually, it was a coworker's rat. She purchased him, but she wasn't allowed. Her mother wouldn't allow her to have it in the house, so we had her. She finally has reclaimed her baby, and because she grew up with all my other rats, we told her she had to take another one. So she took her baby and another one. So 2 of them are gone, and 2 of them were kind of pending from another coworker. She's going to see if she can get them registered as emotional support and take them with her to college to stay in her dorm. That would be the only way that she'd be allowed to have animals in her dorm, is if she had them registered as emotional support. So, or at least a letter stating she, But in the meantime, I've got them listed on Craigslist. I've got serious inquiries only. Do not make them snake food. If you don't already have rats, you need to take more than one because they grew up together. All that jazz. But we'll see. I've got 10 to rehome before he'll consider allowing me to have a snake. So I've met a lot of rat owners, though, at work when I'm cashiering and I get the opportunity to talk to people. You just took a poo-poo. I've met many rat owners, and they already have rats, so they're not going to take on more. But I'm always like, you want more? I've got rats to rehome. You want more? And most of them are, like, most of the ones that I want to rehome are, aside from one of them who's probably 2 months old-ish. She maybe is 2 months old. All of the other ones are about 6 months to a year. Hey, Dee, how you doing? Hey, Mike. I got 2 blind baby rats on my shoulders. They're just hanging out. They're such sweethearts. And, it's my goal to rehome rats, and then I brought more home, but I couldn't resist these ones. Being blind, I couldn't. I couldn't just leave them in the feeder bin. Couldn't do it. Where are you going? I think she's slipping. Slipping. Here we go. Shoulder, shoulder. There we are. They're so sweet. They mainly just hang out on the shoulders and sniff around, feel around. They don't really go anywhere. I mentioned earlier I put this one down on the bed, and she just stayed where she was because she didn't know where she was. I don't know. I think they were blind that way. It's both of their eyes. There's no eyeballs. There's slits where there should be eyeballs, but there's no eyeballs. And it's the both of them. So I think it's just a birth defect. Yeah. Poor little babies. But they're really good at using the rest of their senses. They found their food and water, they play together, they sleep together, they feel their way around. I mean, they're going to use their whiskers for a lot of roaming. But yeah, I don't know. I just happened to be glancing through the feeder bin on Friday and saw the black one and just was like, ah! So I took her. And then on Saturday, I looked in the feeder bin again and saw the other one. I was like, ah! So then I looked through everybody else. I'm like, there better not be any more. They're not. There's no more. No more blind babies. Just those 2. But they're so sweet. They're so sweet. I've been nipped once by the black one, Irina. I've been nipped once. She broke the skin just a little bit with her tiny little teeth. But she had found the food dish. So she was sitting on the food dish. And then my knuckle was too close. And since she couldn't see me, she was just testing things out, and she got me. And it didn't hurt too bad. Her teeth are so small. I know. My son was like, Mom, stop looking in the bins. I'm like, I can't help it. I can't help it. But he's the one that said he would take Irina, the black one. And then I brought home Shiloh the next day. He's like, Mom. I'm like, well, Irina's yours. Shiloh's mine. It's all good. We're still rehoming the other 10. We're still rehoming 10 rats. Just these 2 are staying. And now I will refrain from looking in the bins some more. I'll do my darndest because I've already seen all of the babies. So no more. But Friday we're getting new ones. So I've got to stay out of the bins. Got to stay out. No looking. No looking. Yes. Hubby put me on an animal limit now. I want to get a corn snake, and he said, no, we have too many animals, but he will consider it if I can rehome 10 rats. So, and I'll show you, we've got a king snake and a corn snake at work right now. The king snake is gorgeous. He's selling for 150. The corn snake is selling for 100. But the king snake is absolutely stunning. Look at him. Just a little babe. He's gorgeous. And I held him. He's really sweet right now. And then this is the corn snake. He's considered a black corn snake, but he's not black. Both of them are handleable right now. I really want the corn snake. I really want the king snake, but because he's gorgeous. But I'll settle for the corn snake. But I gotta wait until I rehome 10 rats. Anyone want rats? The snakes would eat the king snake and the corn snake at full grown should be, from what I've been told by a friend and coworker who has corn snakes, the biggest that his would eat once he's full grown is an adult mouse, which I still would struggle with live because I raised mice and I've seen, it's hard and I don't like listening to them squeal and, anything like that. So if I could transition them to frozen thawed, I would. You got to be careful about how you thaw them because if you do it wrong, you can cause bacteria buildup and they can get sick and all that jazz. But I'm overloaded. No pets. Yeah. So you got to do the thaw. You got to thaw the frozen the correct way, so as not to make them sick. But yours are still on fuzzies at 2 years. I can't remember how old. My friend and coworker has a few corn snakes, and his biggest one is a couple feet. And he is on smaller adults, like technically, I guess they'd be more like hoppers, like considerably sized hoppers. But and he's not quite full grown. Do you thaw it? Do you just take it out, average girl, and thaw it in the fridge? Like take it out soon enough that it thaws completely in the fridge, which is ideal because you don't want it to get rancid or anything on the counter. Huh, yeah. And you don't want to cause a blockage or anything. And when they throw up, it takes time before they'll eat again because they have to heal. So yeah, if he throws them up, yeah, just give him the smaller is better then, and just give him the amount that he needs smaller to fill himself up, I guess. You set it on the counter. I still have actually frozen pinkies in my freezer from when I had my frog. I've I've rehomed my Pac-Man frog and I still got the pinkies. He never ate them though. So I've got these frozen pinkies that I don't know what to do with. They're probably going to be nasty by now. I mean, I know they're frozen, but I'll probably just toss them. Yeah, setting a timer is a good idea. But yeah, I really, really want one. And he's like, nope, not until we have less animals. Less animals. So, I mean, he doesn't mind the tarantula. He doesn't mind the hermit crabs. You know, he doesn't even have to look at those. The roaches, anything like that. He just, sees a clutter of tanks, and that's, I think, starting to bother him too. But I'm like, for real, I could just totally put the roaches in the closet. You wouldn't even know they're there. They like the dark anyway. And my son, we're going to have another cage because my son is getting a new cage, a large, more expensive cage. And then my rats will come out of, because right now they're all together. So my rats will come out of his cage and go into the one that they're already in. It'll become my cage, which has already happened. You know, the cage that Remy is in used to be the rat cage. And then he got the new cage. That cage became Remy's cage. Now we're doing that where the hand-me-down cage is going to become my rat cage, and I'll have to find a place for that. So that alone is going to drive my husband crazy, that there's going to be yet another enclosure. But it would be much easier for him to keep that cage clean with less bodies in there creating waste. I said, well, when we get the basement all fixed up too, some of the enclosures can go down there. I mean, we've got walls to strip and carpet to pull up and all, stuff like that. And once that's done, we can put some things down there. They don't all have to be in our living space. Look at her little legs. Her little legs dangle. Are you up there with your sister? Say hello. They are so freaking adorable. I think they're going to be just as sweet when they're bigger too, because they just can't see. It was a partially finished basement. But we've since had a leak. We had a busted pipe. So we gotta pull things up and fix the walls. He just wants to like strip it down to the concrete again. But yeah, our water heater is down there and our boiler and all of that, which we've never had trouble with. It's just that during one winter when our pipes froze, we ended up with a busted pipe. Why is it tickling me? Woohoo! So what's everybody up to? I don't miss winter. I don't miss winter, but it has been hot. It definitely has been hot. And I know it's hotter for you than it is for me, but it's been hot here too. But I'm looking forward to fall weather. I really like spring weather, fall weather, but I feel like this spring we kind of went from winter to summer. We went for like I had a cold spring and then jumped right into summer. So I'm just looking forward. I mean, today I think it's decent, and I think yesterday it was decent. Yeah, right now it's awesomely beautiful out. It's 68 degrees. After this live stream, I should go out there. I need to go out there and enjoy it. Check out my garden. I actually located a cucumber that I didn't realize had grown, and it was beyond, it's over ripened. It's like huge, and it's turning like yellow, like orange yellow, an orange yellow tinge. So it might be a little bit too pithy, but I'm sure that the rabbit will still eat it. It's not too soft or anything. It's just like overgrown. I got some corn growing. Got some new cucumbers sprouting. Got pumpkins galore. Keeping an eye on my tomato and pepper plants. And oh wow, yeah, it's been kind of like that here too. Pumpkin vines. I gotta plant less pumpkin plants next year because they're taking over the yard. I mean, seriously. And one of them, the vines don't just vine out and, you know, are free moving. They rooted. They rooted. The vines rooted because my husband wanted to move one of them so he could cut the grass underneath it because they're kind of growing out into the yard. And he said it was attached to the ground. And I'm like, did it just wrap itself around? And he's like, no, they rooted. So once he moved that vine, that particular vine died. And I'm like, well, one vine down. So what I want to grow next year is a loofah gourd. So that's going to take over too, but maybe I'll plant a couple of pumpkin plants and a couple of loofah gourds. The loofah that you bathe with and all of that, and you can make animal chews out of them, that's from the loofah gourd. So once you harvest it and dry it out and peel it, you get the loofah. And it's really good for using for spa-like stuff and for animal chews. So I was like, I could totally make loofahs. Oh, Mike, you're finally getting summer weather? What's your weather been like? You don't get summer weather during the summer? Fog in the morning. Oh, they make those into birdhouses too? I know that the bottleneck gourds are made uh birdhouses out of bottleneck gourds. I don't know about loofahs. I had to move my car because they ran out of the flower bed and down the driveway. They get out of control. I was warned, but you know, then I planted like six pumpkin plants, and yeah, they're taking over my. I don't have a big yard, and they're taking like half the yard. So definitely a few less pumpkin plants next year to make room for loofah gourds. And he said more corn. We need to grow more corn. So I'm like, okay. Because I only think I got like 3 or 4 corn stalks, and you only get like 2 to 3 ears of corn to a stalk. So he's like, well, that's good for a couple of meals. We need a couple more. We need some more corn. So I'm like, okay. And then my popcorn is doing good. My popcorn is as tall as me. It's starting to tassel. But they are pretty. They are pretty. They blanket the yard, and then the blooms are there. Yeah, they are pretty. They just invade. See, that temperature, though, Mike, I would enjoy. Maybe not so much the cloudy, misty part, but the temperature, I would enjoy that. I'm not good with 90s, especially when it's humid. And right now, your temperature is close to what ours is. Yeah, average girls in Texas, where it's super, super, super hot. I wonder if you're anywhere near Kathleen. Kathleen Elliott's in Texas, too. Just dangling. Her little legs. Her little legs. Just dangling. Oh, geez. 85 degrees at 10 a.m. Blah. Hurricane Hannah. I'll have a talk with my mother. That's my mother's name, Hannah. So my mother came through to visit you. I'm all bummed about this virus thing too because I can't go see my family. Normally in May they come here and in August we go there and neither has happened. Bummer. Ask her why she rained on us for a week. Yeah. Oh, I'm congested, guys. I finally had gotten over that other illness, and then my husband said I relapsed. I'm like, well, I don't necessarily. I'm just tired. It's just made me tired, congested and tired. Little legs again. I see your little foot. And is it spelled? Is Hannah, the Hurricane Hannah, it's spelled without the H on the end? Because that is exactly how my mother spells her name. Typically, the name Hannah for a girl would have an H on the end. Hers doesn't. She is Hanna. Little tootsie. Little tootsies. That's how you've been spelling it. Let's see. Hurricane Hannah. We'll just take a peek. Yeah, it's without the H. And then the other one that I can't hardly pronounce, it looks almost like Isaiah, but it's not Isaiah. It's something along those lines. I gotta blow my nose, guys. Hold on. Starting to get difficult to talk around my congestion. So I'm just gonna mute myself too. All right, hopefully that's better. Feels a little better. I'm a little bit lightheaded after all that That one is finally dissipated. It followed right up the coast, stayed mostly in the water. Well, that's good. Her little, what? She's so cute. You okay, Shadow? You got the sneezers? You got something in your nose? It beat up the, yeah. I do too. It's so sad. My Lexi's already a year old. Hopefully she'll stay healthy, and they're prone to getting tumors and stuff. So there's so many things that can take them earlier. Tumors and respiratory issues and excuse me. So hopefully they'll stay healthy. But most of the, well, a lot of the girls are a year old already. Riley is a year old, Raina's a year old, Sagira's a year old, Lexi's a year old, Lainey's a year old, Lucy's a year old. And then everybody else is like maybe 6 months ish, except for Sylvie is probably 3 months, 3 or 4 months. Then I got an Annie who's probably about 2 months, something like that. And then these girls. And then the boys, I don't know at all. Haven't got a clue since they were big already. That's the benefit of getting them when they're so small, is I can guesstimate better how old they are. And then go from there, keep track. But the boys were already large, so I've got the foggiest idea. They said that if they've got longer guard hairs on their coat, they're a little older, and Drake does have that, but his teeth don't say that he's that old. They say the older they are, the more yellowish orange their teeth get, but his aren't like that bad. So he's got the guard hairs, but he doesn't have the teeth that says that. So I don't know. It's hard to say. And as much as I want to keep the boys, I think I'm going to rehome them too, because then the cage that Drake is in is the perfect size for the two blind girls to be able to still have room to move around and be able to find their food and water. It's not too large. He takes good care of his teeth. Yeah, so I don't know. But yep, all the original girls anyway are a year old, and then everybody else is coming up behind. We also don't know Clemency, Roxy, or Mara's age. We don't know their ages because they were larger when they came to us too. They were surrenders, so we don't know how old they are either. We'll just have to keep an eye on them and see if we can see any telltale signs of giving us an approximate age. So what's everybody up to this fine Wednesday? I'll have to go outside and enjoy some of the weather. Go maybe over to the park where I went to the park. Hey, Bruxing, I hear ya. And saw a couple of groundhogs, which was pretty cool. And they weren't very shy. Like I drove right up next to them, and they just kind of stood there and was like, "Hello, hey, Petsotics, how you doing? Good to see you. It's been a long time." It's never ending, right? I've got to do water changes. You're getting. Oh yeah, it's breakfast day with Dad. That's right. And I keep forgetting that you're behind. Like I'm like breakfast. It's 11 o'clock. No, it's not for you. Little feeties. Little feeties. Mm. She's even letting me touch it. She's not removing it. Where do you usually go for breakfast? Where do you usually go? I like IHOP. I want me some steak tips and eggs with pancakes and hash browns. Mm. Oh, you got two websites now. Sweet. Yes, pancakes do sound good. Little girl, you guys sleeping back there? Okay, you. She's been eating good. Look at her little round tum tum. She got a little round tummy. You're eating good, huh? Yes. And she'll just cling to the hand that's holding her. Oh, cool. Oh, that was sweet of you. Yeah, small hometown restaurants, family-owned restaurants are cool. They're nice and homey too. Pancakes and fruit. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. Cool. So, did you take your fish stuff off of the Petsotic site and put it on your aquarium one? I think you'd be boggling if you had eyeballs to boggle. I think you would. Half the time I feel a little sick after eating there, but Dad likes that I just use my. Oh, uh, some fish products are still there. Okay, I'll have to take a look again, and definitely at the other one. Wonder why you feel sick after you eat there. Do you just eat too much, or is it just the food just never sits? Hmm. You just can't handle good food. Yes, time spent with Dad is worth it. You better not be chewing a hole in my shirt. You are chewing my shirt. Don't do that. Don't want holes in all my shirts. No holes in all my shirts. Nope, nope. Nopey, nopey. I have absolutely no smell. They haven't been tainted with rat smell yet. Hmm. It is never cooked the same and sometimes not cooked all the way or burnt. Huh. Well, that seems unusual for a family-owned restaurant. I wonder why that is. I think she's just gonna go to sleep right here. I don't know if she's sleeping because eye issues, but she's just very still. Oh, cool. Now I'll check into that. You're gonna climb on my head? They need some training then. You need to go in there and tell them how to do it right. Say, I'll train you. She's so soft. Feel like she has gone to sleep. All right, average girl. It was good to see you. Glad you found Willie. What are you doing back here? What are you doing back here? On Wednesday, the cook goes on break, and so the waitress does the cooking. Really? The waitress cooks better than the cook. That's funny. Huh. They need to switch jobs. Huh. That's funny. So go in there and be like, okay, this is what I want, but the waitress has to cook it. Thanks. The cook is the son of the owner. Yeah, something has to change. You better not be chewing on my shirt. I feel like you have been. There's little like, okie dokie. You just like, she's just like having a nap. Oh no. Gotta use that nose when you can't see. I'm so glad I blew my nose. Much better. Yeah, she's like dead to the world sleeping. So funny. Either that or just very, very relaxed. It's really hard to tell when they're sleeping or just relaxing. What are you doing back there? Oh. Well, I've been on for an hour and it's slow. So I think that I am going to wrap it up and head outside where it's so pretty out. I'll take the girls with me. And just enjoy the weather. Sit outside, enjoy the weather, check on the garden. Did you wake up? You wake up? And so yeah, hope everybody has a great day. And I will talk with you later, guys. Enjoy your day. Bye.